Hey, Blue Water friends and fans, Chris Bond here. Just wanted to give you an update on our adventures at Cornerstone Convergence 2019. Great event, really a lot of excellent information and things we heard from clients and trends. I want to share a little bit of that with you today. So first thing on the list, Cornerstone has released their update to Cornerstone for Salesforce. It's not the old CFS connector, but it's a brand new product that really takes Cornerstone and puts it in the heart of Salesforce. We're incredibly excited about that product and that activity. We see so many organizations that are doing learning and Salesforce separately, but now you've got an opportunity to really truly combine those together and get a lot of power in moving learning closer to that moment of need. So Cornerstone for Salesforce, definitely the big ticket item that I saw in there, a big opportunity for a lot of organizations that are using both platforms. So second thing that I want to talk about is really the maturity and the depth of the client base. And we've seen this over the 8 years that we've been at Convergence, and just the growing and evolving nature of the conversations that we have with our clients and with other Cornerstone customers. We see a lot from organizations that are really doing a tremendous amount with the technology, but even outside the technology and how they're thinking about learning and talent development and engagement with individuals, how they're really focusing on talent gaps and talent analysis. There is a clear piece of pressure and demand on many inside the HR, learning, and talent portions of organizations to really look at the next step of how they're going to address and deal with people in the future. And I think that pressure, that intensity, that level of interest is something that is incredibly interesting for me personally, but I think is reshaping our industry. We're at this moment in time where we're beginning to see things evolve, where the development of people becomes a critical value proposition inside the organization. One of the things we're working on is looking at how do you monetize that? How do you really see that money value within an organization as a business is working to grow? And we got to look at that, and how are we adding to the bottom line as learning and talent management, human capital management professionals. So really those mature conversations and the depth at which they wanted to dive in and go into the Cornerstone product and how can I do that next thing was really exciting and really, really interesting. And the final piece is something I mentioned in the Cornerstone for Salesforce piece, which was really all about how do we move closer to that moment of need for learning and training. So I'll give you a couple of examples around that. If you could just think about the Salesforce example. So I'm a salesperson. I'm in the middle of an opportunity, and I'm trying to look at how I'm going to go work it through a challenger methodology or a particular corporate process. I don't quite remember that process, but I'm in Salesforce. Now I can click on a learning icon, a little widget that comes included in the Cornerstone for Salesforce piece, and I can immediately get the training on exactly what I'm supposed to do. Now I have the right conversation with the customer at the right point in time in order to be able to evolve that sale to a successful completion. Or maybe I'm working on an airline, or I'm working at an automotive dealership as a technician, and I've got something that's unique, something I haven't seen before. So how do I go back and reference that training in that moment of need that allows me to gain just a little bit more depth and knowledge on a skill that allows me to progress and do the right thing for my customer, or for fixing the airplane, working on a car, engaging with individuals. So I think the topic of really trying to identify those moments of need that require learning, really getting into more micro learning and really focusing on how we're making an impact on people just in time is really, really an important trend. Something we heard not just from Cornerstone, but we heard from a lot of clients that they're being pressed to move that way, so that learning is more of a continuous process. It's happening throughout the day. So those are my three big things from Convergence: the Cornerstone for Salesforce connector, really the maturity and the evolution of the learning, talent, and human capital management industry and where people are taking things. And then the final piece is that learning at the moment of need. How are we going to be able to evolve the industry and really get to a point to where we're providing education for people that's meaningful and impactful right at that particular moment. So thanks for your time. Great to be online with you again. We'll look forward to chatting again soon.